Afternoon, intuitives. Decided since a lot of the comments you like the more controversial videos, I'll get to one that I've been putting off for a long while, but it is something that everybody's curious about, and it's, a very integral part of life, particularly if you have someone to love. And of course, since you've seen the title, we're going to talk about what an INFJ is like in bed, particularly an INFJ male, being as I'm male, so I'm going to be speaking from a male perspective, but the female INFJs here can comment if it's pretty much the same thing for them or not. Fair warning, this video is going to contain a lot of sexual content. Since we already talked about politics and religion, given that mine's witchcraft, might as well talk about sex too. Politics, religion, sex, all the things you talk about on a first date. What? You're not supposed to do that? Well, I've never been much of a status quo kind of guy. So, there seems to be, thanks to some fairly recent fictional characters and MBTI becoming popular again, a bit of a fascination with INFJs, for good or bad. Some people seem to think we're these mystical, both creatures, that were unlike most people, and that much is true, and we certainly are rare. So, I'm going to give a little truth of what an INFJ is like, in the bedroom having sex with. And caveat here, I'm also a demisexual, so more specifically, this is going to be what a demisexual INFJ is like in the bedroom. And, watch my other videos on demisexuality if you don't know what that is, because you'll need it for context, or just watch them anyway, because I need the views. So basically, demisexual means you have to have an emotional connection with someone in order to want to have sex with them. Yeah, it's pain in the ass. But it's how my brain's wired, and it's how others are wired. It does tend to get in the way. But, it's who we are, and there's no changing it. There's nothing that can disengage that demisexual mindset I've tried. I've given up on trying to be normal long ago. Anyway. So assuming an INFJ is in a relationship with somebody, and obviously that emotional connection is there, what are they like in the bedroom? Well, simple as simple. They're every typical guy just trying to get a nut off. No, not at all. This is yet another thing where INFJ men differ from most other men, and it can be said, or at least argued, that this is yet another thing where INFJs are, more typically exhibit traits that are more considered feminine than masculine. Yeah, it's part of who we are. We're in touch with our feminine side. After all, everybody does have an X chromosome, after all. There's never been anybody born without an X chromosome. Little biology for you. So, what can you expect if you are sleeping with an INFJ male? Well, first off, assuming they're demisexual, INFJs in bed are typically there's a lot of foreplay. We're typically very sensual. We're very in tune to how our lover responds to certain things. We're always paying attention, always picking up on small details subconsciously and storing that information away for later. So for us, the first one or two times, it's going to be awkward with a new partner because, well, we don't know our way around your body, and we don't know how you're going to respond to certain things. And it all depends on how comfortable you and that partner are talking about sex before you end up in the bedroom. As I said, for some reason, sex always comes up on a first date for me. Usually it's the girl who brings it up. So, actually almost always, now that I think about it. Yeah. So, you're there. Guy's going to be very sensual. INFJ men typically aren't really pushing for things to lead to the bedroom. We'll kind of defer to her, to make that decision. We don't ever want to feel like we're pressuring somebody. We would never want anyone to do anything with us sexually that they don't want to do. That's just not in our nature. We're pretty cautious that way, that sleeping with us isn't just going to become some regret. Looking back, I've never slept with a girl the first time if she was drunk. I've refused to. They've gotten mad, but yeah, that's just part of our integrity code. But, assuming that it's the right time and you're leading there, again, INFJ men, very sensual, a lot of foreplay. We'll get to know like a woman's body, like from head to toe, and see how like where she likes to be touched and in what way, aside from the obvious areas. um, Full body massage is pretty common for us. There's a lot of cuddling, there's a lot of sensual kissing in various places, and the whole time we're paying attention to how they respond to certain things to see what to throw out of the repertoire and what to keep or increase and all that. INFJs are sexually adventurous. This confuses some people. It's like, but you're demisexuals, a lot of us, most of us. Yes, that is true. Being a demisexual has nothing, I can't stress that enough, to do with what you're willing to do in the bedroom. Demisexual does not equal prude. Demisexual has nothing to do with what you'll do sexually. It has to do with who. It's about the who. Yeah, the who's important to us. Yeah. So, that being said, very sexually adventurous, always looking to try new things, but we never want to pressure our partner into doing something that they're not comfortable with. And, partners that are willing to be pushovers and just go along with anything, we tend to notice when they're just doing something because they can't say no, and that'll cause an abrupt stop, and then we hate ourselves because we don't ever want to be that guy who wants our partner to do something she doesn't want to do just to please us, and we could never get off on any form of like degradation or abuse. We're very in tune to our partner's needs. In fact, we'll put our partner's needs above our own, which can almost become a competition if you're with an ENFJ, because they're givers and they give all to themselves and they're people pleasers. So there, for a while, that can almost be a competition of who can put the other one first. I've been in that situation before with exes in past years. That can be a little, yeah. But, we're very in tune to what our partner's into, what they're comfortable with, what their needs are. INFJs reciprocate certain common acts. Let's just say we'll try to keep this as clean as we can because it is YouTube. We're often described, myself included, as very intense lovers. Like we're very sensual, we're very romantic, but very intense. Like intense and rough are often considered the same thing. They're not. Intensity is its own thing. INFJs are often said that we can make your very soul orgasm, because to us, sex is more than just that physical connection. We are, the INFJs, are expressing our emotional connection to that person as well, along with the physical connection, and hoping to transcend that into some kind of spiritual connection. Obviously, afterwards with an INFJ, there's going to be a lot of cuddling and hopefully deep conversation. We very much like to take care of our partner's needs both before, during, and after sex. So it's a little different, I would say, than the average guy who just wants to get a nut off and, do whatever he can and hopes the girl doesn't say no or stop him, kind of thing. What else can I say? Yeah. Sex has meaning to us. It's not just, a simple act of, I want to get off. You INFJs typically are trying to express, an emotion that they feel towards that person. And we often try to one up ourselves. So INFJs, again, since we are concerned with our partner's needs, the longer we're with someone, we want to learn new stuff and please her even more than we did before. So it's very much more about our partner than ourselves. And we're not the type to pressure our partners into sex when they don't feel like it. We really don't want to sleep with someone who's not in the mood. Like, stories of that pisses us off. It can lead us to attacking people. So it's something that, as much as we enjoy it, we actually are very sexual people. The conditions have to be right, meaning it has to be someone we have an emotional connection with. And that person has to be somebody who wants to sleep with us. We're not the type to just like, I want to get laid and you're pretty enough. And, oh, come on, babe. Like, you know how much I paid tonight? Know how much I paid at the bar tonight? That's not us. So the conditions have to be right. I think I gave enough information to show how we differ than most guys without making this, too un YouTube friendly. Again, has to be the right person, really concerned about our partner's needs. Very adventurous, but only if a partner's comfortable with the same sex acts that we want to try, not degrading at all. Very intense, very sensual, a lot of foreplay, a lot of cuddling, really concerned with their partner's needs. That about sums up the base points of it. So, for those of you that were wondering what sex with an INFJ is like, here's the basic bullet points. I hope it helps. I hope this was informative on a topic that not many are willing to, discuss in any kind of details. Is kind of bullet pointy, but I think I got my point across. So remember, trust your intuition. If you think that emotional connection's real with somebody you're ready to go to the bedroom with, and do not sell out your integrity just to get laid, INFJs, because it's not who you are.